everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The time for talk is over as we are just mere moments away from the Super Bowl. Two teams now have a chance to prove they are the best. It's the Falcons going up against the Patriots. So the time has come. Let's send you out to the stadium and join the two men that will have the Super Bowl call. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. We are honored to be here for the biggest spectacle in sports, the Super Bowl. Are you ready, partner?
I am more than ready, and I love the word you used, honored, because it is an honor to be here. It's a privilege to be here. My excitement is just about to burst through the booth. I can't wait to do this.
Well, and sitting with both of these teams and talking in the meetings and media day and all the hoopla that goes into this, there was one common theme. They're ready to stop the talking and start playing football.
Yeah, they were probably ready a while ago. Now they can just focus on it. It's done. The only talking they have to worry about now is post-game, and they hope that they'll be talking as the winning team.
And we'll see. You know, both sides come in with a game plan to start. We'll see how the adjustments are made throughout, because there are always adjustments in this game.
I want to see if they come out conservative, trying to minimize errors, or if they have enough confidence to attack early and try and take advantage of the other team's nervousness.
We begin the next half-century of Super Bowls to a strobe of flashes. Super Bowl 51 from Houston is underway. Danny Amendola on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the veteran Tom Brady and the New England Patriots take the field, coming off that win over Houston to send them to the AFC Championship game again. Brady, though, you know, we praise him all the time. He had 2 interceptions against Houston. I'd probably bench him in the AFC. I really would. I'd bench him.
Yeah, well, I might not bench him, but I'm going to coach him hard this week in practice. The funny part is both of those were on tip balls. One from his own receiver, who probably should have caught it, tipped it in the air and turned it into an interception. But here's the thing that gets me about Tom Brady. 6th straight appearance in an AFC Championship game. 11 appearances overall in an AFC title game.
That's crazy.
That's the essence of Tom Brady right there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
On play action, now Brady. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
To throw is Brady. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. A gain of 6 there on first.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now a play fake. Brady. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Brady now on first down. Finding time. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target, and it's second down. Let's discuss this offense now, and Julian Edelman, very good player.
Has really developed into a terrific slot receiver, and a lot of times he would be the primary receiver. Still mad coming out of college that he's not a quarterback in the NFL. He takes it out on the opposing defenses.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Brady to throw again. And right side caught. Hogan. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Robert Alford is another corner who has a lot of versatility. He can go out and cover the tallest wide receivers and work inside against the shifty slot receivers.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Now Brady again. And he's got Bennett. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Throughout his career, Tom Brady has made a living with the quick pass, hasn't he? How about that one? A little slant inside. And I think his arm's gotten stronger throughout his career, too.
Yeah. And you can just see one of many examples of why he's made more trips to the Super Bowl than any other quarterback.
Footwork, intelligence, competitiveness. That's Tom Brady in a nutshell.
Brady gives now to Blount. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. And he dumps it off to Blount. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here's Blount. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
So Dion Lewis was cut by the Browns and the Colts. but he's truly found a home in New England, hasn't he?
How about that game in the divisional round? Set an NFL record with his 3-touchdown performance in which they all came in different ways. One rushing, one receiving, and one on the 98-yard kick return.
And let's give him a little extra credit, too. He hurt his knee last year, had surgery, and has made his way back to reclaim his position as one of the top performers for New England on offense.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. LeGarrette Blount taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends in a touchdown run by LeGarrette Blount. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down.
Brandon, I remember going through the draft process last year, and one of the things I liked so much about Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys was how hard he played when he didn't have the football in his hands. And then I thought back to myself, that's Devontae Freeman. He can do it all. Run it, catch it, block. You name it, he does it, and he does it at a really big-time pace.
Quite a tandem with Tevin Coleman. They combined for 102 rushing yards against Seattle, also 102 receiving yards. Freeman again. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They will run again with Coleman. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. He's got time in the pocket. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Super Bowl 51 after this. A reminder, coming up at the intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Larry Ridley and the crew in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He's got time. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Ryan will throw again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Here's Ryan to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. This a 43-yard attempt. And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Brady now on 1st down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
2nd down, 8. Brady to throw on 2nd down. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. On play action, now Brady. Surveying the field. He's going to go for a big play. It's caught inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. The final shot before half for Brady. Incomplete. So we've reached halftime at a low-scoring 51st Super Bowl from Houston. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. On the biggest stage, both offenses have been able to avoid turnovers. In a close game, though, if there is a turnover in the second half, it may be the thing that's remembered forever. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Patriots lined up at the 5. Blunt's going to take it up the middle. And finally, on play 13, they score. Third down from inside the 50. Sanu the catch over the middle. That puts them up by a touchdown. And he'll end up at the 30-yard line before being tackled. Falcons, though, settle for just a field goal. Falcons now later on the drive. McClellan's going to get the quarterback here. This one ends up as a loss of 3. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. The second half of Super Bowl 51 still to come as we rejoin Brandon and Charles in Houston.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. 2 Patriots there to bring him down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And just a simple, basic neutral zone infraction here, partner.
Yeah, when you're ready to launch and go get the quarterback, sometimes you take off a bit too fast.
Second down and 4. They come up in an offset eye. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So 3rd down, just 1 yard to go. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And I think the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They come up in an offset eye. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Devin McCourty brings him down.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now it's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So the first connection there, Ryan to Jones, and certainly a big reason they're losing on the scoreboard.
As they go as a connection, it appears so goes the team. And they need to be on the same page, in sync. And they really wish it could have been earlier in the game. Now they've got some ground to make up.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up, not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy right now to try and open things up in the run game.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on 3rd down. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Finding time. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Throwing on first down is Brady. He's got time in the pocket. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Blunt. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
On second down, here's Brady. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be third down. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
From midfield, here's Brady. And that is incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And it's 4th and 4. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Connects with Sanu right side. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 51. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Brady to throw on second down. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. 11 yards for number 11. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
On play action, now Brady. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down, Brady. He's got time. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Looking back to the air on second down, it's Brady. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And complete to Lewis over the middle. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
Here's Ryan Allen now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll be 1st down Atlanta.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Falcons a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A little under 2 minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. We're back to perhaps crown a champion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And this defense looks for one more stop here on third after the run. One receiver left, two to the right. Ryan, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. He'll look to throw. And over the middle to the tight end, Bennett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They're going to hurry back to the line now. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. Back to throw. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To throw is Brady. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Brady to throw. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So how many practices have we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there?
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? Gostkowski for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends in a touchdown run by LeGarrette Blount. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Here's Eric Weems now on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. To throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And it's another Super Bowl title for the New England Patriots. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.